This episode of the Empty Netters podcast is brought to you by the crisp and refreshing taste of Labatt Blue Light. It is hockey season. We're almost halfway through the NHL season. It's unbelievable. We're into 2024, and there is no better way to enjoy the new year and hockey season than with Labatt Blue Light. And you know why? Because every single bottle, can, or keg is brewed with Canadian kindness, which gives it the best Pilsner taste you could ever ask for. If you're watching the game at home in front of the TV, if you're at the arena watching live, grab yourself a Labatt Blue Light and enjoy that crisp taste because the ice is always ready on the best beer in the game. Ice is ready, and welcome back and Happy New Year to another episode of the Empty Netters podcast. We are sitting here in Seattle at Third Wheel Podcast Studios, hooking us up with a great little spot to do this show after the Winter Classic game. And I'm hurting, but not as bad as you.
Dude, here's the thing. I'm sick, and I have torn my groin. And there's a lot of people out there saying I'm not hurt.
People at the stadium yesterday were coming up to us saying hi, and a lot of them were pulling me aside and being like, "Is Chris faking? Is he actually hurt?"
Here's the thing. I rode a mechanical bull.
Yeah.
On New Year's Eve.
Yep.
We went to a bar called Cowgirls. Place is sick. If you were in Seattle and you aren't going to Cowgirls, you are doing Seattle wrong. Incorrectly, sir or madam. We actually bounced around a ton of places on New Year's Eve.
Yep.
More hectic than normal. Usually you get a New Year's Eve spot, you're there. Boom.
Yeah.
In for the night. We were 15 different bars. I moved bars. I literally walked out of a bar at 11:51 p.m. on New Year's Eve to get to another bar before 12.
Yeah, it was a wild pivot. It was a wild pivot.
It's a crazy move, dude. But I walked in at 11:59. Saw the whole thing. By the way, I was watching on TV and they're doing the countdown and it's like, but it's Times Square. Are they just like tape delaying that?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they show it
on
again?
the West Coast. Yeah, they just show it again.
It's kind of weird.
It is kind of weird, but I mean,
why don't we do one on the West Coast?
We should do one.
Like,
there should be a West Coast city that does one.
You know? That's crazy. You don't think Ryan Seacrest wouldn't do that, dude? I can't
He
get Ryan
probably
Seacrest.
We get Mario Lopez in LA.
Yeah, boom.
He'd be great at that.
So anyway, I made it inside before midnight. Job done.
Yeah.
And then we're with Johnny Lass, third netter. And he's like, "You want to ride this bull?" And I'm like, "No, I don't want to ride this bull at all."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, you can't come to Seattle and not ride a bull."
Yeah.
Which felt like a crazy take. I was like, "Is that that's what one does in Seattle?" But then God bless him, dude. He gets up there, rides the bull, tips the guy the whole shebang. And then he gets off, and now I have to do it, right? Because like he rode the bull, 100%. I'm not going to not ride the bull.
Yeah.
And I was telling him that it's like all in the quad, like the inner quad is gripping the bull.
Yes.
That's really where you hang. And I had the lean going. I have the video. We'll post it maybe, but I had the lean.
Well, we're going to post it today.
Yeah. Because I did all right. I mean, I didn't do that good, but like I did all right. And it just sometimes, because if you're doing okay, they start. If you're bad, they just do the up and down.
Yeah.
And eventually you fall off. But if you're doing okay, they start sidewinding them. And he hit me with a side, and I like stayed on and reset. And then he hit me with a side I wasn't ready for yet. Mm-hmm. And I clenched last minute, and dude, my body went that way, and my right leg didn't go.
And your groin went the other way,
dude. My groin snapped in half like a piece of dental floss and shot up my ass cheek. Like I think my groin is residing in my right ass cheek right now, dude. This is not funny at all.
It's funny for me. Dude. I understand that you're hurt. You're playing hurt, and that does suck. I feel bad for you. But you got on a mechanical bull on New Year's Eve, and you tore your groin. That's pretty fun for me.
And I'm so pissed, dude, because I felt it, obviously, right away. And I was like, oh, my God. And then I fell off the bull, and I was like, dude, this is a disaster, but I don't want to make a scene. It's like I got up and, like, dap up Johnny. And he's like, great, I'm so glad you did that. And I was like, me too, man, me too. And we go to the bathroom. I haven't even told him this yet, so he's going to laugh when he's listening to this. But we go to the bathroom. We go pee. And it's like a pretty small bathroom at this place, just 2 urinals. Yeah. So we're right next to each other. And he goes, dude, like we're peeing in silence. And he goes, dude, you're breathing pretty heavy. And I go, yeah, dude, I'm fired up about the bull. But actually, I was like, because I was like, I'm in such extreme
You were in searing pain.
Yeah. Like I didn't want him to know yet.
Dude, that is so tough.
Like, oh, man. So, yeah, honestly, because we called it pretty quick. New Year's Eve wasn't that crazy. Yesterday was crazy. But we went to bed kind of right after that, and I was still in like maybe I'll wake up and this is fine.
Yeah. Oh, no, dude.
I woke up yesterday.
Oh, no.
Much worse.
You were limping all over the place yesterday.
A lot of people acting like I'm not hurt, dude. I've torn my groin.
I just think that you You've learned a valuable lesson.
Yeah. No bulls.
Yeah, and you're getting older, dude. The
Dude, I actually
body's
had
a fragile
I was
thing.
like, maybe I should have stretched before I did that. And then I was like, that's such a weak-ass thought, dude.
But it's true.
But it's maybe true.
It's absolutely true. We had a great New Year's. We had a great Christmas. Christmas was great.
Christmas was wonderful. Yeah.
Let's get into, or talking about Christmas.
Yeah.
BETSmas.
Yeah, I just wanted to hit BETSmas real quick. Thanks, everyone, for playing along. I apologize for anyone tailing me. You won by a mile. But I think you just came out at 100. You didn't.
I came out at exactly even.
Yeah.
And it's if you tailed me, I hope. If you tailed me the whole time, what a journey. Yeah. You didn't lose anything. We were up a lot.
Yeah.
We were up 200% at one point.
Yeah.
But that was a roller coaster.
Yep.
Absolute roller coaster. Some brutal beats. I feel like we both really lived the entire life of a gambler over BETSmas.
Yeah.
We had 12 days of BETSmas. It was a blast. It went a couple days past Christmas because of the few days with no games.
Yep.
But if that wasn't a crash course in what it is like gambling, I don't know what is.
Dude, so I was never in the black, not once. Like, I lost 3 straight bets down to 70.
And then you were just battling back.
But then I was up to like 96 once. I was like really close, but I was never in the black once. And then I was swinging big on the last 3 days, obviously.
Yeah.
And I have lost. I have 0. I lost all my money.
What was that catastrophic?
So yeah, this is what I wanted to say. And dude, I am not a huge gambler, right? Like, I like to gamble, but I'm not a huge every day on the slate gambler.
Yeah.
I get it though, like, because doing that every day where we had to bet, it's extremely addicting, and you feel like every bet is the right one the next day. Like, it doesn't matter if you lost the day before; every day is the next one. And I will say this, and maybe you disagree, but for me, I just always wanted to build a big parlay to make it a sick payout because that feels more fun.
Yeah,
and you're like, dude, I'll get it all back right now. But obviously, you end up losing one leg of the parlay, and that's why you get buried. But it just felt boring to bet, like, oh, you know what? I'll just take the Oilers money line, even though they're minus 180, because it's safer. And I won't win a lot, but it's safer. Because I lost a couple of those. Like, I lost a couple, just take the favorites. And then you feel like a true clown.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, why wouldn't you be, like, swinging hard? And, dude, I don't even remember exactly. Oh, I do. It was, I put $20 on Rags, puck line.
Yeah.
Penguins, I want to say Islanders, over, and Avs puck line. Rags Caps. First period, Caps up 1-0, and I'm like, well, that's an L.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, even if the Rags come back and win, they're going to win by 1 goal. And then it was like Rags goal, Rags up 5-1 and win, puck line, check. Penguins, now I'm like, I got to hit this one. It's 0-0, 10 minutes left in the second. I'm like, that's an L. It's over 6.5. And then I refresh end of the second, and the Penguins are up fucking 5-0.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, dude. So I just need 2 Islanders.
That was
goals.
a shit stomping.
And then the Islanders can't score, but then the Penguins get 2 more and cover themselves.
Yeah, 7-0.
Like, dude, I just need Avs puck line in the late night game. And by the way, that bet was going to pay me like 180. So like, I haven't been in the black once yet, and you had lost that night. So I was like, I'm about to pass you and be winning the competition. Oh, you hadn't lost yet, but Vegas lost, so you did lose that night.
But I
hadn't lost yet.
I had a 3-team parlay that was winning by a mile, and I had them money line.
Yeah,
and
but that was an actual bet you made. Like, the one you posted didn't have.
That's
Avs.
That's right.
But Vegas lost, which fucked your.
That's right.
Vegas lost to the Ducks.
Yeah, brutal.
But dude, I had Avs puck line, and I'm like, dude, if that hits, I'm paid.
Yeah.
And I refresh 1-0 Avs, and I'm like, hell yeah. Refresh 2-0. Refresh 3-0. Refresh 4-0. And I'm like, dude,
we got it.
Go to bed. Yotes win 5-4 in overtime.
Dude,
you get nothing. Good day.
It was an insane beat. Like, that was so bad. I personally found my Jets Bruins to be the worst.
Oh yeah,
that was a monster parlay.
Yeah.
Like, that was a bunch of really, really risky picks, and that payout was going to be so much, and then it crushed us.
Never remember your wins, dude. Always remember
end of the day.
Wins.
BetMGM is the best because all those parlay boosters were so fun.
So sick. I'm addicted now. I mean, I don't have a problem.
No.
I'm gambling responsibly.
We're addicted to the fun.
I'm addicted to the fun.
It's an absolute blast.
I'm a fun addict.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
And that's fine.
Let's keep cruising here with this no Bucky warm up. Let's get into Seattle.
Yeah.
Here for the Winter Classic, obviously. Overall, we talked about this a couple episodes ago. so many props to Seattle for how close all the stadiums are.
Oh, it's so cool, dude.
Lumen and T-Mobile being right next to each other. Our hotel is a 10-minute walk away.
Not even, dude.
It is such a vibe. Walking through down the streets, all the streets are closed off. There's food trucks, there's bars, there's restaurants. It is a total vibe. And I think you could be a little rowdier, Seattle, if I'm being honest. We got in on Sunday. There was a Hawks game going on.
Dude, we turned the corner and we were staring into this belly of the beast, dude.
And it was too quiet. A little too quiet for me. I know it's been a tough season for the Seahawks fans, but
8-8 though.
Seattle fans, you could be a little rowdier, is all I'm saying. With the 6 setup you have, it could be a little
The stadium
rowdier.
was loud. I just thought there'd be more bars like right around the stadium also packed.
People watching.
You know, like people were either in the game or at home, it felt like.
Day of Winter Classic, however,
Buzzing.
they pulled out all the stops. Place was buzzing.
Yep.
It was awesome being in. By the way, T-Mobile Park.
Oh, dude. I'm
Does
actually
not
bummed.
Does not get enough praise. That
What a
is a
sick
sick ballpark.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
We were talking earlier if it counted that we've seen the park now,
Yeah.
even though we didn't see a baseball game there, and I still think yes, because
Yes, it
I've been
does.
in there. I honestly wish I had seen the roof close, because like literally the act of it closing.
Yeah, it's a cool thing.
Because I was
to
like,
see.
dude, that looks so awesome.
Agree.
But we got perfect weather, and
Dude.
the place.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to talk to some of the boys who
Yeah.
played, but actually, Maddie said it last night.
Yeah.
Maddie was like, it was sick. It was perfect. It was probably, 42 degrees?
Yes, dude.
So we were kind of thinking, ooh, might be a little too warm for the ice, but no, dude. Clouds in the sky, but not too gray, so there wasn't sun beating down on the ice. And then even when the sun did creep out,
It was across the top.
Yep,
Yeah,
so it
like
wasn't hitting
us.
the sheet.
Yeah.
It wasn't too cold for fans. You know, I had 2 T-shirts and a shacket on.
Yeah.
And I was fine.
Yep. We were in the sun though. Like,
We
it was
were,
a little colder when
but
I
I was
in.
walking around the concourse a
fine,
lot, and
yep.
it got colder, and I was still fine.
And by the way, it was 41. Like
Yeah,
it wasn't.
it was fine.
Like the big house one was people were freezing. to death.
Yes. I think that honestly might have been perfect Winter Classic weather. The ice was
Yep.
great. The player, or at least Maddie said the ice was great. It looked fine. It didn't look like it was slushy
Mm-hmm.
or too bad out there. There was no glare. Fans were solid.
Yep.
We love the Winter Classic. I'm a huge proponent of I think it's one of the coolest things in major sports. And what a great one this was. I was pumped to see how packed that park was.
Dude, same.
40, just about 49,000 strong, stuffed to the gills. Between periods, dude, if you tried to go take a piss
Forget
or
about
go
it.
get a beer or some food, holy fuck was that place packed.
Yep.
I felt like a sardine swimming upriver. I don't know if they swim upriver, but I felt jam-packed trying to get around that concourse to get a beer, to get anything. It was awesome.
Dude, how about the pro shop? We went into the pro shop.
Oh,
pregame.
pick clean, dude. It felt like
went to the pro
COVID days.
shop.
People getting toilet paper
went
and
to the pro
laundry
shop,
detergent.
dude.
It was unbelievable.
Before the game, like we were at the stadium, we go in like 40 minutes before puck drop, go in to get some swag, this Kraken hat, let's
Yep.
go. And we were in line. We almost missed puck drop because we were in line so long.
Yeah.
But there wasn't even a line. It was just like a mob of people pushing towards the register and just like grabbing stuff on their way because
Yeah.
I can't even get to the hat rack. So like whatever. And how about at one point when one of the employees was like, "Could everyone just form 3 lines?" The peanut gallery.
Okay, I was curious what you were going to talk about. Inappropriate.
Dude.
Inappropriate. The guy goes, "Excuse me, folks," because there were 3 registers.
Yeah.
Can we make 3 lines here, please, so we can get this a little bit more efficient? And everyone in the shop was like, "Oh, too late for that, pal.
That ship sailed a long time ago.
Oh, did you just
idiot."
say everything's free now?" I was
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck? This is such a reasonable request by this guy.
Form
What are
3
we
lines.
talking about?" That
Probably go faster if we just form
such
3
an
lines.
Insane response from everybody. When he said it, I was like, "No, thank God he finally
Yeah.
said it," because that's what needed to happen. And everyone just sewered the guy.
Lost their mind.
I was like, "This is so offsides. Why are we yelling at this dude for
Outrageous
this?"
performance.
Oh my
I think
God.
they were just hyped up on Winter Classic vibes. It's hard to blame them.
Yeah, people were just in the shit and
Yep.
and battling together. They could hear no organization from
Yeah,
that man. I felt
exactly.
terrible for him. I was like, all right.
But yeah, that fired me up.
Huge props to the league, dude.
Dude,
The
yes.
designs.
Looked sick.
Oh my gosh, the setup at the park with the sunken ship.
Right, the Kraken
The-
coming over the ship, the logo being like a compass.
Yep.
You know,
The nautical vibes were strong. The Kraken guys coming out in the fisherman gear.
yeah. What was
top-
Vegas? They had the hats.
Yeah.
They
I
came
think
in with
so.
like sheriff hats on
Yeah,
or something. But I was like, okay.
The guys doing the Pike Place fish toss back and forth as
Over
the
as
players
they
were
came in.
walking through. everything was just so well done, so clean.
Dude, a couple of the boys on the Kraken, I forget who it was. I have to rewatch it. We're like ducking every time, and I was like, "Yo, they're professionals. They're not gonna hit you with the fish." It's
also,
okay.
stop messing with them.
Yeah,
Like, let them do their
don't
thing.
pump
You know?
fake it. But yeah, there's always like a pond for kids to play in between periods, and they had that.
Yeah.
But it just looked cooler because it was like frozen ice, nautical themed stuff around the actual frozen ice. So that looks sick. Also, we posted this, but the anthem was lit.
Oh my God, that kid.
Dude, so we were there.
Savage.
Dan and I got to do a walkthrough the day before, and I think we were. That was on the story too. We were walking around, and they're practicing a ton of shit. Oh, we got to say the drop the puck thing too. But we're practicing. We're doing a bunch of stuff. They're practicing a lot of things, and some guy's just out there playing the anthem on electric, and he's good, but like whatever. And we were both kind of like,
no. Give me a -1 here.
Well, Dan was like, I don't love the anthem on the electric guitar. Like Jimi Hendrix did it. It was sick as hell, but like that's pretty much all we needed from that. And we were listening to it 1,000 times in a row, which doesn't help, like it's just pounding in our eardrums the day before the game. We show up the day of the game, and some little kid comes out, a little infant child.
Well, it was him. He was the one practicing.
Was it? I thought it was somebody else.
No, it was him. And I was like,
Okay.
who is this kid?
He comes out and absolutely murders it.
Shreds.
And it was like some variety too. It wasn't just like the plucking the whole time. Like he went
was
into
doing
chords, he went up the
He was
up
doing
the
the neck dancing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then they take the Coast Guard helicopters over. You're expecting to see like the Blue Angels. We're in Seattle after all. You're expecting to see like Blue Angels F-18s, whatever they are, bombing through.
Our boy Tony said he was like, I knew it was Coast Guard flying over, and I was like, how Coast Guard? I mean, that's like the lamest of all of those.
He
groups.
was Coast Guard, by the way, so we can say that.
Yeah. He's like, it's like the lamest of all the groups. How are they going to make this cool? And then they did.
Yeah, dude, they come across, and there's dudes dangling from wires, holding American flags. And I was like,
unreal.
Let's go, dude. This is Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 2 sneak peek. Insane, dude. I loved that. That was really cool. And then they also had the voice of the Mariners do this thing, drop the puck. I don't know if this worked on TV, so maybe no one's gonna know what we're talking about. But we had to listen to the day before the game 1,000 times in a row. Them go 1, 2, 3, drop the puck. So loud.
They did that sound test, honest to God, 30 times. and then they fucked
get to
it
the
up
game,
at the
and the mic cuts out. 1, 2.
And then fireworks went out.
Fireworks, puck drop.
And then the ref dropped the puck, and I was like, oh, shit. I imagine the team doing that looked around each other going, are you shitting me?
Dude?
Like, well, how in the world did we mess this up?
Insane. But yeah, dude, some of the picks coming out are awesome. I thought it looked beautiful.
What was your favorite part? Like, what's your favorite part? Maybe not of Winter Classic in general, but like dude, it's just such a special game. If you have the chance to get to a game, it is so worth it. It's so fun. I think it's such a spectacle.
Dude, I think that they had the fan experience, the fan village right outside, which was awesome. And that was like, people was packed. Everyone was going to that.
Yeah, fan village was cool.
For me, this one, I really loved how it was crowded, obviously, but it felt very accessible. Like we all just like walked up and like had some food at a food truck and like walked in. Fan village right there. Got into the park. I think the energy was high the whole time. Probably the weather helped a lot, and the home team winning helped a lot.
Yeah.
So it was a good buzz. Like I almost want my answer to just be like the feeling in there the whole game.
Yeah.
But I think I just will say that intro, like those dudes walking out with the fish and the fucking flames and fireworks going and the anthem. Like I was like pretty fired up at the beginning. Yeah. We almost missed it because of our line, and I was like, whatever, dude, if we miss puck drop, who cares? And in hindsight, I'm like, oh, I'm so glad we got there for the intros and puck drop, because that was
awesome
money.
Yeah, I think I love how and again, this is everyone, I love how much everyone buys in. The players buy in. I love the eye black. I love the outfits in the beginning. Last year when the Pens and the Bees were doing the baseball uniforms, like all that stuff is so fun. And people hit us up, in the DMs, because I'm sure at other venues this has happened, and it's harder city to city. And I think about Fenway last year. There's not that many places, but I would love doing hockey outdoors. Is so cool. Yeah, and it feels like a football game. Even when it's at a ballpark, it feels like a football game. I would love more of an emphasis on pre and post game tailgate.
Oh, cool.
The game's at noon. It would be sick to make more of a, hey, like, game's over, but party's not over. Like, it's Winter Classic. And the fan village was kind of part of that. But if you've got a cool setup like Seattle has, where you've got, streets with food trucks and stuff, I think it'd be sick if they kind of instituted a block party type of vibe. Yeah. And again, city dependent.
Need the
like,
right
I don't know
venue,
where you
it's
do
tough.
that in Fenway.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you could go to Lansdowne and some of the bars and stuff around there. But it would be awesome if there was like a after the game, this street, these bars, whatever are doing this stuff, because it was cool. We had the blessing of Michigan, Alabama. Let's go blue. Go Michigan.
Let's go blue.
Fuck you, Bama. Privilege of those games being on. So we went right to huge shout out Queen Anne's.
Queen Anne Beer Hall.
Queen Anne Beer Hall. We've got a lot of fun stuff coming out with Queen Anne. We're going to be coming back to Seattle, doing some watch parties and stuff there. Coolest bar in the city. No doubt about it. But being able to go right from the Classic to that, to watch those games, then the UW game, that was amazing. And I think that feeling of like the Classic is over, but the fun didn't stop. I think there if the game continues to be on the first, there will continue to be NCAA playoff games. So keeping the party rolling is really
nice vibes.
My only note for sure.
Amazing.
Thinking about playoff games, semifinals, World Juniors. Huge developments today. Get into it.
USA currently pumping Latvia. What's the score? Is it final yet?
It was 7-2. Let me check right now. But I mean, this morning was the big dog.
I know. But that's when I want to save it. USA pumping. They're going to be into the semis.
Final 7-2.
7-2.
Sweden currently up 1-0 on Switzerland.
I'm anticipating a USA-Sweden semi. Absolute tilt. Sweden gave up the least amount of goals in the group stage, I believe 5. USA scored 29 goals in the group stage, which was the most by a mile. So,
USA pumps in goals. Sweden doesn't let in many. So, it's going to be a very
really
interesting
excited
recipe
for that matchup. Now, the other side of the bracket is, of course, Finland versus Canada, right, Dan?
Of course. Canada waltzes to the final in this.
Dude, that is a tough loss for our boys up north.
Well, it's funny because this is a rematch of the gold medal game last year. Canada, Chechnya. Chechnya goes up 2-0. Canada kind of sleeping at the wheel, it felt like in that first period. But Canada crawls back, ties it 2-2.
Bang,
and
bang.
then the most unforgivable, in my opinion, with 12 seconds left in the third. It was a deflection goal, so not going to rag on Canada's tendy, but you cannot be giving up goals with less than a minute.
Dude, it's such a killer.
It's the fucking Bruins against Florida in Game 7 last year.
Exactly right. And it's like this Canadian team. And by the way, Chechnya might be sick.
They're a great team.
They, like you said, gold medal rematch. They just beat Canada. They took USA to the only test the USA had. Maybe they're just
they're
sick.
A great team.
And we'll all look back. Maybe they win this whole thing, and you're like, oh, I don't know. That was the gold medal game. Chechnya, Canada. So this team is sick. But this and again, this also isn't the absolute melt job worst Canadian loss of all time.
No.
I do think though, you are extremely bummed. We posted that Top Gun video. We had a ton of people in the comments like Canada 3-peat coming at you, no brainer. Top prospects out there. Celebrini had a good tournament, honestly. So, it's not like he was asleep at the wheel. But this team losing in the quarterfinals is, just a killer. Just a killer. It's tough. The bracket is the bracket, so that's when you caught Chechnya, but that is an embarrassing result.
To not even get to the semis is brutal for Canada. But I do kind of love this. This is not a chirp to our northern neighbors, but I love World Juniors every year. When Canada wins, Canadians love to be like, and that's obvious. We're the best hockey country in the fucking world. And when they lose, they're like, it's a kids tournament, dude.
World Juniors, dude. They're kids.
I'm like,
take it easy. They're
literal
kids.
NHLers playing in this. So
insane. Yeah, Matty P could have had a better tournament, honestly.
Yeah, what's funny though? I always feel, and I'm sure, or I know there's stats to prove me wrong on this, but I feel like when the NHL kids come down and play in this, they never, I don't expect them to dominate.
Yeah,
dude, it's such a different game.
Big ice,
and they're also in Matty P's not getting himself hurt.
Yeah,
I think they go in there and they're like, I'm gonna play my game.
Yep.
Because you also don't want to get back into World Junior style, and then you go back to the show and you suck.
Yeah.
So,
dude, well, here's the thing on that, because I think you saw the Sweden-Canada game. You saw Sweden really control the game because of that big ice. It felt like, at least to me, right? And I wonder if Canada will look back on this tournament being like, they scored 21 goals, by the way, in the group, which was second most, I'm pretty sure. but I just wonder if they'll look back and be like, dude, we didn't quite have the offensive firepower we expected to have. I'm sure they expect to be pumping in goals at the same rate USA was.
Yeah, right. Celebrini was supposed to be Bedsy Part 2.
And not quite. And again, he was okay. I think he had 4 and 4.
Yeah, but I think that's the point. Is he was okay. And what do you mean not quite? Everyone's talking about Celebrini every 5 seconds, dude. He's obviously not Connor Bedard.
Yeah.
But Celebrini.
Well, that's all I mean. He was just not Bedsy.
Yeah,
Part
but he's
2.
the consensus number 1 pick.
Yep.
Everyone's like, he is unbelievable. He's the best player by a country mile in this tournament, and he did not do anything special at all.
Right.
He was good, but he wasn't great. Not even close to great.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that was shocking. And I think that they are... And, yeah, to your point, Matt Poitras has been one of the best rookies in the NHL this year, and he goes and plays in that tournament, and he didn't do a ton at all.
Geeky didn't do a ton.
No. Let's talk about Geeky, though.
Yep.
Geeky in a game against Germany, and in the first 11 seconds of the game, off the drop, puck goes back into Germany's zone, wheel it around, get it up to the hash wall, to a winger. Geeky comes flying in and buries him.
Yep.
Cleanest hit I've ever seen.
In my life.
No charging, perfect lineup, shoulder to chest, didn't leave his feet. Perfect hit, gets 5 in a game. Loved Morgan Geeky, his brother on the Bruins, coming to his defense and was like, apparently you get kicked out of games for hitting too hard now. Dude, it's World Juniors. It's not that big of a deal, but that is a joke.
That is a joke.
And
there was talk, there were tweets like, oh, he's cleared. He won't face additional suspension. He gets to play today. And I'm like, was that a conversation too?
Dude, I don't mean to hop on Biz's dick here, but a little while ago on the TNT broadcast, Biz was talking about the league and the national and saying that he thinks some of these young guys haven't really been taught how to take hits.
Oh, yeah, I remember
And
this.
we're seeing some, injuries or really bad-looking hits against the boards, open ice hits, that are leading to suspensions and fines, and it goes into the Trouba stuff that we're talking about. And I think he's right, dude. And I think that if that, and I know it's World Juniors and not the National, if that is even a penalty,
dude,
we are going in the wrong direction. And I loved you in the slow-mo replay, you see Connor to look at the ref and go, what the fuck for?
Yeah.
And he's 100% right. That's as clean of a hit as you can ever hope for. And winger on Germany, keep your head on a swivel, buddy. Like, there was nothing wrong with that hit. You got to be ready for that contact. Yeah. And it goes into Bedard is absolutely buzzing, but there was a play a few weeks ago that you and I talked about where Bedard got the puck along the boards and he turns, it wasn't even a bang-bang play. He has the puck along the boards, and he stops and tries to turn and go the other direction, and he turns his face into the glass and gets shoulder-to-shoulder checked, but since his face is turned, he goes face first into the glass. Everyone loses their shit. And I'm like, that is Bedard's fault.
Yes, dude.
You have put yourself in a dangerous position when you are in a position on the ice where you can be hit, and you need to be ready to get hit, and he exposed his face to the glass because he hasn't been taught to protect himself from that situation, maybe.
Yep.
And I am so in on this. Let's point out the problem before it becomes a problem, because hitting is a part of the game. And if you don't know how to take a hit, that's going to be on you. You might find yourself out of the league faster than you think because you're getting bundled every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like Hank Lindgren on the Rangers. Figure it out, buddy. Figure out how to get hit.
Last year, the refs in the NHL, you were allowed to review. You could upgrade a penalty, downgrade a penalty, whatever. I don't know, and I don't think that's in World Juniors.
Yeah,
I don't think IHF can do that. And maybe I'm wrong. I'm not. Maybe they did review that, but that's a situation where it's like, someone look at this, dude. Like, I hate when plays like this. You're seeing it across all major sports. A play like this, because these games are so fast.
Yeah,
and the refs are human. Things happen. You think you see something a certain way, a penalty's called. Look at it. Like, I just can't believe you can't look at that and be like, oh.
Nope.
That was a clean hit. Sorry.
Not only are you not suspended from the game, it's not even a penalty.
Thank God they let him play, because if Canada had lost today without him,
yeah, that would have sucked.
Would have been such a shit show.
Yeah.
Pumped for the rest of the tournament. Got to be the boys in red, white, and blue now, though.
Oh, it's theirs to lose.
Got to be the boys in red, white,
and that's
blue
not
now.
to say Sweden's amazing.
Sweden's
Chechnya is amazing.
Yep.
Finland is playing unbelievable. But yeah, it is very much USA's tournament to lose.
It's gonna be sick.
Yeah. Let's get into some hot ice.
Yeah.
I want to start with an idea that I had.
Okay.
We're talking about the World Juniors tournament. We were talking about the Winter Classic. It's perfect. NBA owns Christmas Day. Everybody knows that. Very interesting year this year with when the holidays landed, because we had a bunch of football on too.
Yes.
It was kind of, what was Christmas Day? Monday?
Yeah, is that right? Christmas was Monday, and there were some games.
Yeah, so Christmas Eve there was a full day.
Ton of games Christmas
football. There was a Monday night game. NBA owns Christmas Day. Always has. Always will.
NFL owns Thanksgiving.
It was Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, no NHL games.
Yep.
3 days of no games, right? It was 3 days?
3 days.
3 days of no games. We loved it. All the fans.
And the boys love it too, I have to say.
They do. But, fans hitting us up in the DMs being like, fuck, 3 days without hockey. Here's what I'm proposing, because these spectacles are great. I don't even want to get into the Winter Classic. The Winter Classic being on New Year's Day is so sick, but it's so brutal that it's also now the day of 2 college football playoff games, because that will always take more attention away from it. I don't really know how to fix that just yet, but it's because New Year's Day is sick. Like it's sick that there's a game. And I think that maybe that noon slot is the play. Like it's before those games.
We have thoughts on that, but that's not the point of this. Keep going.
The point of this is this. Here's my idea. Boxing Day.
The 26th.
The 26th. Boxing Day. For those of you who are not big European football fans, soccer.
Yeah, as we call it.
Boxing Day is a huge English Premier League football day. And it's awesome. As a soccer fan, I love waking up on Boxing Day and being like, I'm watching Premier League all day long. It's the best. There's no Boxing Day really here in the States with the major sports. And I think NHL, listen to your boys, maybe something to claim. And like you said, the boys do like that 3-day break. And I'm not proposing they lose that break. Bump it to the 23rd, 24th, 25th.
Off.
No NHL game.
26th.
The guys still get Christmas Day.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Dude, Boxing Day.
Frozen
Frenzy.
Bang.
16 games. All 32 teams. That should start next year. And we said this on the Hockey Talk. And I was like, dude, Boxing Day, Frozen Frenzy should be every year now. NHL owns Boxing Day. It's up for grabs.
Yeah.
And the thing that people said immediately was, it's World Juniors, though. And, dude, hear me out. I love World Juniors.
Yeah.
I love it. You guys are fucking high as a kite if you think that that's getting TV attention.
Yeah.
I know in Canada they love it, and we love it too. But I know in Canada it's like it's a holiday almost. But, dude, I don't know, man. You look at it like right now, the games are in Sweden. Here on the West Coast, that's a 9-hour difference. Yeah. Like, if it's in Canada, U.S., the World Juniors, yeah, I hear you, but we can't bank on that every year. Mm-hmm. And then also, man, it's one day.
Yeah.
The World Juniors is still going on, bro. It's January 2nd.
Yep.
You're telling me that the World Juniors tournament can't sacrifice one day of their TV coverage?
Yep.
Grow up.
No, agree.
And in fact, I think it would almost be better because you go Boxing Day is NHL Day, Frozen Frenzy, and the start of World Juniors. It's hockey.
It's hockey day.
All day. It's hockey
Rebrand, dude. Not Boxing Day anymore.
Yeah. And because like I've got news for you, dude. The day after there was NHL. There's been NHL games. So like all those days, there's still attention taken away from it. I think it's a no-brainer. I think Boxing Day should become NHL Day. Frozen Frenzy every year, day after Christmas, 16 games, bang.
I do love the idea that the NHL should have a day, and I think maybe the knee-jerk is like, well, New Year's Day because they do Winter Classic.
Yeah,
but
it's
you
not.
Already brought up that the college football playoffs is there, and more importantly, that's one game. Like Christmas NBA is like a shitload of games, or maybe it's not a shitload, but it's like huge marquee games, 2 or 3, right? I think. NFL Thanksgiving, 3 games, right? Like, I think the NHL could benefit from something more than just we have one game on New Year's Day.
Exactly, dude.
Boxing Day, great solution.
It's a great idea.
I'm all in on it.
Dude, look at our neighboring nations and take great ideas from them. Yeah. Dude, Boxing Day. I'm serious.
We've been doing that since the country was formed.
We've been legally stealing from England for years, dude. It's for centuries.
Are you kidding me?
It's unbelievable. I look at that, and dude, if I'm talking to our boys at the NHL, the higher ups, the big daddies, Gary, listen to your buddy Dan.
Yeah.
Boxing Day is the best. It's so marketable.
Dude,
do you have any idea how much fun the NHL marketing team could have with Boxing Day? I just think it would be. It's like we said. Here in the States, Boxing Day means nothing.
Yep.
It's ripe for the picking. Bump the days off up, 23rd, 24th, 25th. All of the guys get Christmas Eve and Christmas Day with their families, and then bang, Boxing Day. And dude, you know what you could really do is you could try to make all the games in division so they're not traveling too far. Like it would be unbelievable.
Yep. Love it.
Love it. Do it, no brainer. Next topic.
Big one.
Things are falling apart. Yulia Samsonov has been put on waivers and assigned to the AHL. The sky is falling at Scotiabank. And you know what, really? Leafs fans, we have our differences. But you know that we love you deep down. I am not dancing on graves. Because I think Sammer is, look, there's
my
Austin.
guy right there.
I think Sammer's awesome too. I love how cut and dry he is. So I'm not celebrating this. This sucks. He's in a rut,
sucks.
and I hope he gets out of it. But the delusion that the Leafs fans have had this season, the times where we've been talking about him and been like, dude, he's struggling. People are like, nah, dude, Sammer's just doing his thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like this, wake the fuck up, guys. Like, same with the New Jersey. Like, wake up. This is bad. So how do you feel right now?
So I think this is a nightmare situation because you come into this season certainly being like, maybe he plays sick and he really pushes us over the hump. But at the very least, he will play pretty good or good even. Like average. Give me average goaltending. And
that's all I'm asking.
Yeah, because you have a cup team, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I guess maybe Leafs fans have been saying that for a long time and they never get out of the first round or the second round. But you have a cup team. You hope. You came in with your goalie here for sure, and you hoped to get improved play, and it went here. And Wall hasn't been, you were like, oh, I got Sammer and maybe Wall, and like that duo is the new Boston duo or whatever. Yeah. Allmark took a huge leap that second year. Yeah. And you're getting neither. Yeah. Which, obviously, as we've seen a million times, can derail an NHL season. So I'm like, this is a nightmare. Other than like Matthews getting hurt, this is a nightmare. You had said about Carolina a while ago, where this is it, dude. Like, we're out of time to like hope someone gets hot. Obviously, he's been sent down now, so it's like officially dead. But my point is, like, you got to do something. There isn't like, hey, let's just ride it out a little bit longer. Like, the season will slip away to a degree. Both Carolina and Toronto are completely in the playoff mix, even with their goalie situation, by the way. So it's like they're okay, but just like you got to right this ship. Yep. The Leafs cap space is $340,000. Yeah. And Nylander makes 6.9. Just saying. Bertuzzi 5.5. If he's not staying, these are things that could go away. I want to hit you with some possible names though, and keep in mind, most of these, the team wouldn't give up. So I'm like, this is just like your best chances. Yeah. But it's either do something like this or just hope Wall gets hot or something. So this one would literally never happen, and I would burn the streets down.
We will burn Utica to the ground.
We will burn Utica to the ground. But Swayman's on a 1 year.
So move on.
Get him right
Move
over.
on. No, I'm serious.
You win the cup.
Move on.
Logan Thompson, 2 years left.
This one's interesting.
$766K cap hit.
Wait. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. 2 years left on that. And Leafs have $340K. They barely have to make any moves. Aiden Hill has the best goals against in the league right now and is your starting goalie. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, make a phone call. Make a phone call right now. Yeah. Get him over there. And like Vegas isn't going to just give him away for free, obviously. Yeah. He's been sick, and they've been a great tandem this year. Yeah. But like, are you kidding me? They're going with Hill, obviously. Carter Hart, 3.97. That's a lot to move. Yeah. And I don't think they'll give him up now with the way they're playing.
Me neither.
I did think they were going to. Here's an interesting one. Cam Talbot or Phoenix.
No. Move on. These are so dumb, dude.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? That the Kings are sitting on easy street right now. They're not changing anything.
Because of Cam, yep. But Phoenix, you wouldn't give Phoenix Copley?
Hell no, dude.
Why?
Who are they bringing up? Like it's an interruption that they don't need.
Yeah, but like
unless they're getting someone who I don't think that they're happy with the goaltending system. They're not going to trade Phoenix and just be like, and we're bringing up our guy. Like that is insane. No,
but like you wouldn't trade Phoenix Copley away for a great forward.
Well, I mean that's the thing. It's like what does Phoenix make?
1.5.
Yeah, like they're not getting Bertuzzi for that. It's
What if they did?
then we're having a conversation. If they're moving Phoenix and they get, I don't even know what the Kings need. They're so fucking good.
I know.
I think they need a defenseman, if anything.
Yeah,
like
fair.
their lines are so fucking stacked.
But you need to. The Leafs are in give something significant up situation. Like the situation they're living in is like, yo, make a massive.
Oh, trust
move.
me, I know, and I'm gonna get into this later. But
Yep.
yeah.
LB dude is on the Jets now. 1.7. I thought he looked great in the playoffs last year. You can take a chance on that.
But they're another one where I'm like, dude, what a tandem. We know it takes tandems now. And it's like, I'm not giving up LB.
Yep.
That Hellebuck LB is such a good tandem.
And then here's another funny one that won't happen because it's been a great tandem, but it's been a little lucky. Johnny Quick, dude, 800K. And I'm like,
no, that's interesting.
Go get Johnny
again.
Quick.
Like I think the Kings would be stupid to disrupt that because he's been the better goaltender.
The Rangers.
What did I just say?
The Kings.
Kings. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
But
I think he's been the better wins guy. But like his numbers aren't that good. But he's winning
still,
games.
He's winning
dude.
games.
And he's got 800K.
I think the Rangers would never do that. Like I think
make that phone call, dude.
They've got such a good thing going. Like,
go get Logan, bro.
Yeah, dude. It is, and I'm gonna get into this in more depth later. But this is a big deal.
Dude,
it's a big deal, dude. And there's interesting differences, right? Because there's a lot of teams who have had this. The Canes, right? The Canes are in the weird goaltending situation, but things are getting a little bit better for the Canes. The Devils are in an interesting situation, but like the Devils suck right now. It's insane, dude.
It's crazy.
And you look at Toronto, and I'm like, Toronto, dude, they have a good record.
Yeah.
No, they're in third in the Atlantic right now, and not far off a second. Not that far off of first. And I'm like, this is awful, dude. You guys are in such a bad spot, so something needs to happen. Talking about the Devils and Carolina, we keep talking about the Met, so I don't want to, but one thing that I've thought was funny going into this morning, 7th place and 2nd place in the Met is a difference of 4 points. That is going to and dude, we're not early in the season, guys. When we did like
2024,
10 games into the season, we were like, oh my god, like Edmonton's out of the playoffs. This is great, dude. We're about 40 games into the season now. We're almost, we're a pubic hair away from being halfway through the season.
Yeah.
So this is crazy to look at how tight the Met is. Like we are living in a place where it's like the Rangers are in, right? The Rangers are going to win the Met, but there is a chance that those 2, 3, 4 teams can completely flip with just about everyone in that division except Columbus.
Yeah.
That is mental.
That is crazy. 44, 43, 43, 40, 40, 40. Who do you like, dude? Pitt? I like Pitt.
I know you like Pitt, and Pitt has woken up, dude. Shout out to our Pitt fans. Pitt has woken up. Like, they were an embarrassment, but they have woken up. But, I mean, Washington has slowed down. The Devils are a disaster. They've been a disaster all year. Pitt was a disaster to start, but they're getting a little bit better. I don't know, dude. I love Philly. I love Philly. I'll get more into that too. But there's crazy shit, dude. We made a couple jokes about this with memes and stuff, but I don't really think we've talked about it on the pod before we leave the Met. I know we keep talking about the Met. I don't want to talk about it more. What is wrong with Ovi? Because we're officially something's wrong.
Yeah,
he is on pace to score 15 goals. I think.
Yep. The weird thing is. And not to cross-sport it or stroke off Brady any more than I already do, but
stroke him off, dude.
But everybody was like, the cliff can come fast, right? Like Peyton Manning,
hard and fast,
fell off a cliff. Like literally, he was like a MVP, and then he threw. Dude, his people forget this, but his last year when he won the Super Bowl, he threw 9 touchdowns and 17 picks that season.
Yeah, he was.
Like, you are like you cannot be in this league.
That team's defense literally dragged a lifeless body to a Super Bowl, and they had the audacity to give him Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, and I'll go to my grave thinking this way, even though people will hate on me for it. But
did he get Super Bowl MVP in that game?
No, not MVP. I don't think.
Okay, good.
But they won it.
I was gonna say that'd be bullshit.
Brady. Everyone's like, Brady finally fell off. And I'm like, no, he didn't. He was going through a horrible divorce and still played sick anyway. But I swear to God, if he hadn't gone through a divorce, he would have just come back next year and been good.
Completely.
Anyway, the cliff can come fast. And with someone like Ovi, though, I had always felt like, well, it won't for him because he's such a beast.
He felt like Yager, dude.
He felt like Yager.
I think he still is. I think something's wrong.
Me too. But my point is, there's a world, though, where all my arguments for saying it won't come fast for him, he's such a beast, is why it does come fast for him. Because you're like, dude, he's been a fucking wrecking ball for 17 years.
Yeah, he's been using his body like a battering ram for 20 seasons.
Who did you think it was going to come faster for than him? Like, his body has shut down. Yeah. Now, what is baffling to me is I feel like Ovi on crutches could score 20. just go stand over there and fire slap shots.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's weird. I'm like, even when he died, he should have been able to score.
Agree.
And so I'm like, I can't quite figure out what is happening. Actually, I'll look this up later. But sometimes you're getting bad breaks, and I'm going to touch on that in a second.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you're getting bad breaks, and I'm not watching enough Caps games, honestly, start to finish, to know, like, oh, is he leaving goals on the table here, or is he just, like, not getting his shots off? We had said months ago he went 2 games without a shot for the first time in his career. I mean, kind of like, dude,
that's
what's
insane.
going on? Yeah.
How are you ever having a game where you don't have a shot on net?
And they're doing okay, but like they're going nowhere if he doesn't wake up.
Yeah, it felt like 25 games through the season when they started surging a little bit, and I was like, and Ovi will wake up at some point. Like, this team might be second in the Met. But we're halfway through, and this is just like such a bad pace. I saw that wince right there.
That was my groin.
Stop trying to fucking tell people you're urgent.
That was my groin.
But we're at this pace now where I'm like, dude, I don't know if you're going to wake up.
Yeah.
So, imagine if you added 20 OV goals right now, where this team's record would be. I think you're so right. I think the cliff does come hard and fast, but it does not come this fast for this guy.
Yep.
So I think something has to be wrong. His shots are just way too low.
Yeah.
Like, what we looked it up. He had like 75 points last year? Like, he's still
he's
a
a beast.
machine.
Yep.
I think something's wrong. I think he's dealing with a really significant injury that we don't know about. And, of course, very true to Ovi, he's just playing through it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, damn, dude, like, maybe you should go get surgery and, like, try to come back for playoffs or something, because this is crazy.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. I want to leave hot ice, and I want to quickly touch on a couple of things that we usually do towards the end, because I want to finish this episode with some fun stuff.
Oh, okay. Go.
I want to do games to watch right now.
Sure. What do you got?
Let's give our games to watch. I got 2 games to watch for people for this week. I'm going Thursday, Avs at Dallas. Avs Stars,
game.
Unbelievable central matchup. 2 great teams. Guys on both teams are absolutely buzzing. I think that's going to be a blast. And then Saturday, we got another Hughes showdown. Canucks at Devils.
Sweet.
Quinn's going to want some revenge.
Yeah, he's going to get it. Let me get Thursday, Penguins at Bruins. That's just a game I'm personally going to watch until the day I die or Sid dies, whatever comes first.
It does feel a little less special that it's not Berg Sid now, though.
Yeah, agreed.
But it is Marshy Sid.
Yep.
They love each other.
They do
a couple
love
of
each other.
captains going against each other.
And then give me Sunday, Jets at Yotes. I just have a feeling that one's going to be spicy.
Yeah, some history there, dude.
Yep. I just have a feeling.
And the Yotes, dude. The Yotes might be making playoffs here.
I know.
Unbelievable.
How's Toff doing?
Quick some Toff watch. 27 points in 35 games. He has slowed down a little bit. There was a little 8-game skid there for the Devils where they were losing a bunch of games and Ty was quiet, but he's got a couple multi-point games. And I think he's going to get hot again here.
Yep.
Remember the other day I was like, Ty's got a 3-point night and an immediate hat trick.
Mm-hmm.
I think through 39 games, we're going to be up to 34 points.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it.
He's right in the ship.
Guys, I don't know how many times I have to tell you this. Get on BetMGM right now. Do you like money? You can get up to $1,500 in free bets if you are a first-time user and you use the promo code NETTERS. That's NETTERS. Bet between $10 and $1,500. You go on, you place your bet. If you win, boom, baby, take it to the bank. You got that money. If you lose, BetMGM will refund that money. You cannot miss this opportunity, so get over to BetMGM right now. Disclaimer, BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 plus to wager. U.S. promotional offers not available in D.C., New York, or Ontario. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Nevada, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY for New York. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP for Arizona. Call 1-800-327-5050 for Massachusetts. And 1-800-BETS-OFF for Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help in Michigan. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. All right, how do you want to finish up?
Let's get into some saucy predictions.
Love it.
I want to toss some sauce here with you. It's the new year, 2024. How we doing? Looking at the back half of the season here, the stage is set, right? We've got our teams, we've got our Titans, we've got our strugglers. Now we're entering the phase where we can start making some predictions about maybe some things that are going to go on in the league, maybe some things that are going to happen with some teams here. And I want to hit the listeners with 3 predictions each that can be as hot and triggering as we want.
Okay. Am I going first?
Sure.
All right, I kind of want to figure out which way I want to tell these.
I was thinking that too. Do you want me to give you my sauciest one at the end or
I
start
think so.
saucy?
No, I think I'm going to
Finish
give my
saucy.
sauciest one at the end. And mine are pretty saucy, honestly. Okay, let me start actually with this one because I don't have the names, but this is where you'll come in maybe.
Okay.
Pittsburgh Penguins, just talked about them. They're
Hell
in
yeah.
7th or whatever, but they've tied for 5th, and they're 4 points out of 2nd. They've turned it around, like you said. They're a plus 14, like I was saying the other day, where they're way down, but the 4 teams above them are all negative.
Yeah.
They have $2.87 million in cap space.
Yep.
They've given up 93 goals this year, which is the 4th fewest goals in the league, behind the Kings, the Jets, and the Bruins. So, for all this talk, including by me, I think.
Jets are so dope.
I know. Including by me, of like, oh, the Penguins' D sucks. Like, they have bad D. They have bad goaltending. They brought in Carlson to fix their D.
Yeah.
They're fucked. I'm like, dog, they've given up 93 goals. They're playing
Yeah, they're
fucking
not that bad.
tremendous D. Tristan Jarry's 11-11, but he's got a 9.16 save percentage and a 2.47 goals against.
Yeah.
That's a fucking very solid year.
Yes, it is.
They are not having a problem keeping the puck out of the net at all. They have scored 107 goals, which is 24th in the league.
Bad.
Gensel,
Power play, disaster.
Gensel, Sid, disgusting, over point per game. Malkin just behind point per game, but he's playing great. But then it's Carlson and Tanger.
Yeah.
Dude, Rust has been pretty good, but he was hurt. He's like almost PPG, but he only played 22 games.
Yeah.
Dude, Lars Eller, Riley Smith, who does have 20, but like I think they want a little bit more.
Oh, points.
Yeah.
I was like, he does not have
Lars
20.
Eller, Riley Smith, Drew O'Connor, Raquel on Sid's line. Like this is not getting it done.
No.
And some of it's power play issue, but some of it's even strength scoring, dude. Like this team needs goals. They do not need D. They do not need goaltending. It's there already.
Yeah.
The plus minus is there. They just need more offensive firepower, and they have a certain GM who is not afraid at all to make a fucking move.
Yeah.
With the season on the line.
Yeah.
So, dude, and maybe we can do this later as we get closer to the trade deadline, but that $2.87 million and someone is going out the fucking door in the next 8 weeks for a monster right wing on Sidney Crosby's line.
Okay, so I love this take.
Monster right wing.
But I've got a rebuttal for you.
Yep.
I think you are living in a world where they're in the playoff hunt.
They
And
are.
I want you to live in a world where they're not.
They are, though.
Yeah.
They are.
Let's say they are. Because they're currently in 7th place.
They're 4 points out.
Yeah, but they're in 7th place.
Yep.
Lots of games in hand here. But let's not forget that. I think the numbers that you've brought up, goals for, goals against, are very important. Because like you do think that the tides will turn there.
Mhm.
Water has to find its level. Because they're what? Plus 14
Yeah.
and they're in 7th place. It's absurd. But let's say this bad luck, these bad breaks keep happening. And let's say the trade deadline arrives and they are out of playoffs. And looking at it logistically, they are like, we are not making playoffs. I still think this is going to happen, but I think it's going to be by 2 huge players.
They're going the other way.
I'm talking Gensel. I'm talking Malkin. I'm telling you.
I still think that's what Dubas got brought in for, to build like the Penguins of the future. I think they were like, make this team make a run again.
Are you serious? I think it's got to be both. You're bringing in a young GM who has great experience working with elite young talent. Dude, this team is in a fucking retirement home. It's unbelievable, dude. Sid, Gino, Carlson, Tanger, like everyone's 33, 34 and older. And you look at some of they're old.
Yep.
That is an old team. And Gensel's 29. I think he is like, he's going into the last year of his deal. You kind of look at it like, if I'm Gensel and we suck, like they suck so far this year, you're like, he's got family and stuff. I'm sure he's happy in Pittsburgh. You love playing with Sid. But, dude, I think they brought in Dubas to be like this, sick, make the Carlson trade. And we're going to make a little run here with Sid's last couple of years, whatever. Yeah, that's definitely in the cards. But, dude, they're not going and no look to the future. You've got a fucking bunch of guys with walkers on this team. You're telling me that they aren't asking Dubas to look to the future? And if you missed the playoffs this year, dude, you look at Gensel, it's one of those situations where you go like this, hey, are you going to stay here, dude? Like, Gensel needs to pull a Matty Tkachuk.
Yep.
If he's not staying, you have to trade him, dude. And I would trade him and Malkin, 2 contenders, for fucking nothing but future.
And Sid, dude.
Give me picks and give me I don't want a player back. Give me picks.
Trade Sid to the Bruins right now.
I would love that. But, he's not moving. I don't think Tanger's moving. Gino, to me, feel like they almost didn't bring him back and Sid had a fit.
Yep.
But now it's like, well, we brought him back, dude, and we brought in Carlson, and we missed the fucking playoffs.
I will hear you that maybe, because I actually don't believe that they were like, dude, look, build the future. I think Dubas came in and he was like, I'm getting this team back to the promised land.
Yeah.
So
Like,
he
you
brings
want to
in
win
Karlsson.
now.
I possibly believe they were like, do your thing, bro. Bring Gino back, get Karlsson. If we suck at the deadline, though, then you have to abort. I'm willing to live in that world where they told him that. So he's like, okay, I tried. Now it's an abort thing. But I think they're too close. I think they're too close, and he's going to go all in. Dubas is cooking.
They're too close right now, but let's talk in fucking 15 games.
In 15 games, they're going to be solidly in.
Yeah,
so
maybe.
It won't even matter.
Maybe, but maybe not. And if not, you need to eat a living crow. Because, like, dude, this is what happens. And this is what we talked about, man. They missed the playoffs last year. And then what did they do? They got Erik Karlsson.
And Riley Smith.
And they got Erik Karlsson. I love Riley Smith. But, like, don't act like... Even Riley Smith would tell you, like, I'm not a fucking blue chip piece that's going to win you a Stanley Cup.
Well, except for he did last year.
Shut up, dude. My point is this. Like we said, bringing in Karlsson wasn't we're back, baby. And anyone who thought that is a fucking moron. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean...
Another chip incoming.
Sure, they wanted to be like this. We're making a run here. But, dude, I don't know, man. Even if they make a big swing and you know, that $2.7 million is not getting you a starting right wing, so you're moving a lot.
And something, yeah.
Yeah, but, like, what do you move? Like, something, like, you're losing a piece to gain a piece. Like, it's another one of those things. Like, are you getting that much better? I don't know.
I'll look up their contracts. Give me yours.
My first juicy, saucy prediction. The Los Angeles Kings are going to the Stanley Cup.
Okay.
I said last episode, going to the Stanley Cup.
And losing.
I don't know. I said last episode, I thought that Vegas was the actual only wagon in the league. Yep. Everyone else is on fraud watch.
Yep.
And again, people, fraud watch doesn't mean bad. It means that when people are calling you a wagon Stanley Cup team,
you might be
I can put you on fraud watch and you're still an elite team. I just don't know that you are a Stanley Cup wagon. I think Vegas has fallen down into everyone's on fraud watch.
They're doing what they did last year.
We posted today, unconvincing wagons.
They're doing what they did last year. And last year wasn't... I felt was more due to injury than it is this year. Like, I'm not giving them the injury excuse this year. Mm-hmm. But last year around this time, I was like, oh, Vegas isn't that good, actually.
Yeah.
And then...
But they are.
So...
I think the Kings had kind of a weird start in the first 10 games where they couldn't win at home, but they were still dope.
Yep.
And they've just been dope since. They've lost, like, a couple games here in the last 8 or whatever. Mm-hmm. But, dude, I don't think Talbot's slowing down. I think Phoenix is getting better every day. I think they have guys, Trevor Moore and Quentin Byfield, the two marquee ones of just having career years and not showing any signs of slowing down either. I think this Los Angeles Kings team has the depth to do it.
Are you afraid of Colorado at all?
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah, good. You should be.
Yeah, and Nate Dogg's out of control.
Yep.
Nate, by the way, Panarin has really slowed down. He's still amazing. He has 50 points, but the heart race is officially on, and it's Kuch and Nate.
Yep. One thing I think is interesting about this call is sometimes I wonder, like the Devils last year, we felt like, some of us called them over the rags in 7. Some of us did that. Yeah. But we were like, I don't know that this Devils team is ready to make a cup run because they're new to this playoff thing. They're so young, whatever. The Leafs last year, you kind of felt like, God, if they could just get out of the first round, they might be off and running.
Yeah.
And they kind of weren't. And they ran into a buzzsaw, but they just weren't.
They kind of weren't.
I've always been curious about the Kings, this Kings re-core. It's like, God, if they could just get past Edmonton, what could they have done? And I don't know, right? Like, half of me is like, if they just get by the boogeyman, dude, they go right to the fucking final.
That's what I'm saying.
But the other part of me is like, they still are so new to the playoff run thing that they got by Edmonton, and it'll be like a blow their load Leaf situation.
Yeah.
And then they're like, we lost in the next round. Sorry, we had to get through that one time, and then we'll be good next year. And so I can't tell this year.
I know, but and this is kind of easy for me to say because Edmonton's been struggling. But even with Edmonton doing so much better and Connor being a mutant again, I think the Kings tallywhack Edmonton. If they see each other in the first round, I think they absolutely body them.
And by the way, they still have guys like Kopitar in that locker room that are like, I've been to 2 cups.
And he's having a monster year. Like the PLD start has maybe been a little slower than people want, but the second playoff starts, I think he's gonna pop off.
Fucking awesome. Yep.
Phil Deneau, unbelievable third line center. All these guys, you don't need to name them. Like Kempe, I'm naming.
Yeah, name them all.
But like Kempe, Fiala, Q, all of these guys, like they're so strong. It's just.
I like the call. I'd love to see the BetMGM odds right now of who's the favorite to come out of the West. But I love the call.
Yeah,
and I would be fired up. Holy shit, how fun would that be?
It's gonna be a blast. It's going to be a blast.
Let me do my next one here because this is good timing. I'm calling, and I've kind of been saying this for a long time, and I never wish this upon anybody, but it's just been coming to fruition. I'm calling that the Oilers finish in the top 3 in the Pacific. And here's what's fucking crazy, dude. I don't know who. I don't know who will fall out because I look at it and I'm like, ooh, Vegas. Because, dude, if you look right now, it's Canucks, 36 games, 49 points. Knights, 38 games, 49 points.
33 for the Kings.
Kings, 33, 45. Oilers, 34, 37. So the Knights have the highest at 38 games.
Yeah.
Let's give everyone, help me do this in my head real quick. Let's give everyone 38 games and say they all win their games in hand. Canucks would be 38 games, 53.
Okay.
Knights, 38, 49.
Okay.
Kings, it's 5 games, so 47,
10 more
49.
points.
Yeah. So they'd have 55. So they'd be in first.
Yeah.
55, 53,
Cup.
49. And then Oilers,
Aren't they
4 more games. So 8
4
more points. So they'd be at.
They'd still be in 4th.
They'd still be in 4th. They'd be at 45. So they'd be 4 points behind the Knights for 3rd. So they're 4 points back. And I know you got to win your games in hand, but like they're 4 points back. People look at this and they're like, oh, they're kind of way behind everybody. I'm like, not really, actually.
Yeah, they're not way behind.
So in my mind, I'm like, oh, the Knights will fall out. But I'm actually like, wait, the Knights are the only good team. They're not falling out. And I'm like, well, the Kings are a wagon. They're not falling out. But I'm like, well, if the goaltending slips up, I'm like, oh no, and the Canucks I think are real, dude.
Yeah, they're very real.
I don't know who falls out,
and
maybe. Well, no, I'm sticking with my prediction, but I really do think the Oilers are going to be are going to get 3rd.
They're just going to do what they did at the end.
They're going to get 3rd,
dude. I said I hate this call, not because I don't disagree with it. It's because I don't want it. And you know what's funny, dude, is I'm blocking the hypocrite sticker that's about to be slapped on my forehead because. I kind of got loud at some of the people, some of the listeners in the DMs being like, is it bad that I love that Connor McDavid is miserable and struggling right now? And I was like, yes, that is bad. Like, I don't care if you're a fucking Flames fan. Hating on the best player in the league is so dumb.
Yep.
Enjoy excellence, dude. You are witnessing the most insane thing we've ever seen.
Yep.
To be in 2024 and watch a guy do what he's doing in the NHL, that is a blast. Do not wish failure upon Connor McDavid. But you know what I will say? I'm sick and tired of this
the Oilers shit.
Yeah, I'm sick and tired of this Oilers team. Dude.
Yep.
Like, I'm so over your bullshit. I'm so over your boo-hoo, poo-poo fest of like, oh, it's so brutal playing in this mark. Shut the fuck up, dude. Like, you're up in Western Canada. Like, what's your problem?
Yep.
I know it's tough to play with the media there, but grow up, dude.
Yep.
Just grow the fuck up. Like, look at the Jets. They went through some struggles and they're having a fucking blast.
Having a blast.
Look at the Leafs too. Like, they're miserable every year, but they, you just battle through. Like, stop whining. You have 2 of the best players on earth.
Yep.
And if they just continue to, like, for example, if they come up and finish top 3 and they bump someone out of the playoffs and then they lose in the 1st or 2nd round, I'm like, go fuck yourself, dude. Like, I'm so sick of them. Like, I want them to blow it up or do something different, make a huge change.
Or win the cup.
Yep. Enough of this. Enough of this middling nonsense.
You.
So, I'm out on that.
All I'll add is Stuart Skinner, who we love to shit on. Last year, first full season, really, 9.13 save percentage, 2.75 goals against, and that which is solid. Like, I don't think he stepped up. A little bit of a Tuukka Rask situation, but very solid. And he was bad to start this year.
Yeah.
Back up to 8.92 save percentage, 2.86 goals against.
Yep.
He
still bad,
but he's on the way up. It's been much improved. He went on a 7-game win streak, lost 2, now on a 3-game win streak. The Oilers themselves won 8 in a row and are currently on a 5-game heater. Like,
they're on a 5 in a row right now.
Yeah, another one. Like, it is happening. So,
I'm so sick of that team. My next one.
Yep.
I think the Philadelphia Flyers make it to the 2nd round of the playoffs. Not only are they making playoffs,
I thought you were just going to say make playoffs.
I think they make it to the 2nd round. I feel like this team is, we just called Vancouver real. They're the real deal.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Philly's the real deal, but I think their scrappiness is real. Mm-hmm. I think that they are, and let's talk about Torts. They have bought into Torts.
Yeah.
I think Torts has also shown so many signs of improvement of the way he deals with young players, the way he has adjusted to this new league. He seems much happier.
Yeah.
As silly as that sounds, like, obviously they're doing well, but I've just loved seeing some of his interviews. He's not as snarky. He's more, but he's still willing to give it to people. Like,
oh my God,
Brink
yes.
has been so good, and the other day he was like, his defensive game sucks.
Yeah.
And just the way he said it, he was like, he's such a good player. And it was just, he's mixing now, like the Torts motherfuck with really positive energy. I think the guys are responding to it. I think the city's embracing it. I think this team, like I said, talking about Torts, feels like the Blue Jackets that swept the Lightning in 2019. I see them making playoffs and giving someone an absolute buzzsaw
great
first
call.
round.
Also, Torts, see what you did there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think they're going to give someone a buzzsaw first round matchup. Not sweep, but I think they're going to get through because I think, dude, they've got guys that are coming in. I think Cutter is going to come in. Hopefully wins a fucking natty with BC.
And a World Junior Gold.
Actually, I don't know if I can make that claim anymore because I love Will so much. I don't know if I'm rooting for BC.
No, they're all in BC.
Sorry, I didn't mean Will. I love Celebrini so much.
Yeah, well, you've always been a BU bitch too.
I have been a BU bitch, but I love Willie and I love Cutter, so
yeah.
I think it's 2-1. Okay, never mind. I'm back in.
Yeah,
BC.
and we want the gold. We want them to get World Junior Gold and a natty, and
I'm back Cutter in. All right, Will, Cutter, I love you. Sorry, Celebrini. I want Cutter to come in, join the playoff run. I want Mitchkov, dude. I don't know how they'll figure it out. But I want Mitchkov to join. Wild. And I just think they're going to give someone a rough and tumble first round win. Probably be bounced in the second round. But what an emphatic Philadelphia Flyer hockey is back,
dude. And what I was going to say, bro, is if they do hold on, like let's say I was right about to be like, well, yeah, when they did the Lightning upset. Who had like the win record, the Bees win record or most points or something, like the thing the Bees just broke. I was like, yeah, they were an 8 though going against the 1, and with the new format, it's not going to be that. But and I know Matt's crazy, but if it held right now, even as a 3, like they're not a wild card team, they're a 3 in their division.
Yeah,
that means they're catching the Canes. So and that would be a massive, like if the Canes lose in the first round to the fucking Flyers,
and it feels possible,
dude. And no joke, not to completely pivot this conversation, but if that happened. We're living in a ridiculous hypothetical right now, but if that happened, I'm asking Rod the Bod questions.
Definitely.
Where I'm like, dude, did you just lose in the first round to the Flyers? And they're like, yeah,
we did.
I swear we can win in the playoffs, though. It would be sick.
Yeah.
It'd be sick. Philly needs it. The Eagles suck all of a sudden. The Phillies lost. Flyers are back.
Yeah. Hit me with your sauces.
Here's my last one. Dude, I was checking shots on goal this year because I was just curious. Who do you think leads the league in shots?
Probably Pasta, Matthews, or not Connor anymore. Besser?
Pasta,
yeah.
Great guess. He's the most shots in the league with 176. He has 22 goals, so he's at a 12.5 shooting percentage. Kucherov, next most in the league, 168, 26 goals, so 15.5 percentage. Some guys are a little lower. Ikes is just over 10% shooting percentage. Nate is just over 11.7% shooting percentage. These are guys with a ton of shots. Matthews has a 20.3 shooting percentage this year.
Yeah, dude, he's a weapon. He's going to score 70.
Which is so dumb.
He's going to score 70, and they're going to miss the playoffs.
Dude, Brock Besser, 100 shots this year, 24 goals, 24%. And then this is crazy. Sam Reiner, 91 shots, 23 goals, 25.3% shooting percentage, which is moronic.
Shoot 4 times a game, you get a goal.
Like, that is so crazy. But that's just to give you and the listeners kind of the scope here, right? Like, Pasta's 12%, Matthews leading the league in goals, 20%.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of the range, okay? This person, Dan, has 126 shots this year. So, like, Besser has 100 shots, right? Sam Reiner has 91 shots. Pasta has 176. This person has 126 shots this year.
Yep.
And has 5 goals. And it's not Ovechkin. Who do you think it is?
It's Matthew Tkachuk.
Yes, dude. Fucking 4% shooting percentage this year.
Yeah.
From a elite goal scorer.
Yeah.
And it's not, I don't have Ovi shots in front of me, but it's not an Ovi situation where I'm like, well, he's not shooting. He's not getting the puck. This is bad bounces.
Yeah.
This is bad luck.
Yeah.
This man should never in any fucking multiverse have 126 shots and 5 fucking goals.
Yeah.
Okay? It's just not finding the back of the net for him. And if I know anything about this kid, it will very soon. So here's my call, and this is fucking unhinged. But He's played 36 games.
Hey, go nuts, dude.
He's played 36 games, so that means he has 46 games left. Okay?
Yeah.
46 games left in the year. He's got 5 goals. He will finish the year with 35 goals.
35?
He's going to score 30 goals in the next 46 games.
Wow. No. I could see him getting 30 this year, though.
He's going to get 35. I got news for you. He's going to get 35. 4% shooting percentage, Dan.
Yeah, that's so bad.
That's going to come up to fucking, like, let's see. Hold on.
What do you think's going on?
Let me do this math real quick. It's just not finding the net, dude. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's going to take...
I think his recovery from that sternum injury is much more severe than we all thought.
Agree.
I think he's going to wake up too. I also think he's saving the juice, dude. I think he knows what he can do in playoffs, and I think he sees how good they are. And he's like, dude, just keep doing my game. He plays such a good two-way game. He's still on the stat sheet. He's getting assists, but I think he's saving the juice, and in playoffs, he's just going to explode.
He's on pace to take another 214 shots this year.
Uh-huh.
And let's say his shooting percentage the rest of the year is
8.
No, dude. Like Pasta's 12, Matthews is 20, like 18.
18?
Yeah.
That's
dude.
so high, dude.
No, that's like in the range. It's like
but he's currently at 4.
But I'm saying he's going to be good the rest of the way.
All right, let's call it 12.
Okay.
18.
214
you fucking
times
clown.
12. 214. That's 25.6 goals.
Yeah, that's what I think he's going to hit. I'm a genius. I think he's going to hit 30.
Kind of low, dude. No, it's not low, but like.
But dude, going from 4 to 18 is
because he's going to average
Candyland.
But that means he'll finish the year at like 13, which is where he should be finishing the year. Like it should find its balance.
I know, but it's just it feels crazy to me to think that you're going to make a jump halfway. Again, this isn't a 20-game sample size. It's a 35-game sample size.
He's going to shoot. He's going to score 35 goals this year.
That would be sick. I think he's going to get 30.
35.
I heard you. I think he's going to get 30. That's a really fun one.
Yep. I
Really
can't wait.
fun. All right, here's my sauciest. I think that William Nylander will/should be traded at the deadline.
For Swayman.
It would be a good trade for them.
Good trade for everyone.
Nope, for them.
I mean, I'd be miserable.
It would not be good. That would be a horrible trade for Boston. Horrible.
So dumb.
Me?
No. If the Bruins ever traded Swayman, give him the bag.
Yeah, he's going to get the bat, as he should. Toronto Maple Leafs have projected $35 million in cap space next summer. People forget that.
Yeah, that's crazy, actually.
Everyone goes like this. They can't afford him. They can't afford him.
We do that sometimes.
What?
We do that sometimes.
Yeah. They can't afford him,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to look at it logically.
You're just killing your team.
UFAs next summer. So again, $35 million cap space. UFAs next summer as projected for the Maple Leafs. William Nylander, Tyler Bertuzzi, Max Domi, Robertson is RFA, Gregor is RFA, McMahon is UFA. Bottom guys.
Yep.
TJ Brody, Liljegren, RFA, Giordano, UFA, Benoit, RFA, goaltenders, Martin Jones, UFA. Insane. Point being. Actually,
And then there's some people in the year after that, right?
there's, yes.
Like, I think it's Toe Drags and fucking Marner the year after that.
It is Marner.
Yeah.
Yep. I think Morgan Riley's in there too. Sammer, UFA.
Yeah.
I also think there might be some IRs. Like, I think, Klingberg, Murray, Muzzin comes out the books. That's great. Yep. My point is, there are a lot of players that need to be.
Yeah. No, they got a lot to think about.
There are a lot of player slots that need to be filled. So you have $35 million, yes.
Right.
But after you just gave Matthews, next year Matthews is making 13.
Moron money. Yep.
Marner's making over 10.
Yep. Toe
Drag's making over 10.
Yeah.
Are you about to pay 12 plus, which is what he deserves, of that money to William Nylander when you have this many roster spots to fill?
And dude, even if he took 10, like even if he was like, dude, just give me 10.
Yeah.
I still think you're jammed.
So what William Nylander deserves and should ask for, and I'm sorry guys, will ask for, because like we talked about with Matthews, you guys jumped down our throats, semi-deservedly so, but not really, when we were like, fucking Austin, dude, taking 13. Like, that is not team. And people were like, it is team friendly.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, is it? If Matthews is taking 13, why the fuck would William Nylander take a team-friendly deal?
Yeah, right.
Why on earth would he go, oh yeah, there's my assistant captain, top center, one of the best players in the league. He took 13 mil on this team when Marner's over 10, Toe Drags is over 10.
Yeah.
Why on earth, when he's been making 6.5, what he's making right now, I think,
Been an absolute
why
stud.
on earth would he do that? So, I don't think he makes 6.9. I don't think there's any planet where he should even consider taking team-friendly. As we talked about earlier, the Toronto Maple Leafs are a disaster right now.
Yep.
Your goaltending situation is so bad. And here's the thing, dude. Wall is a good goaltender. Sammer is a good goaltender. He's going through a rough patch. But I just don't see that situation getting so much better that you guys feel good. Look at the Oilers last year. Skinner was a all-star.
Yeah.
And we all said, I don't think Skinner's that good. And then they got to the playoffs, and that became very true. You look at a lot of these teams where the goalies are like, I don't really know about the goalies. Florida is an interesting example where you were like, yeah, Knight is having a tough stretch, but Bobrovsky is elite.
Yeah.
He's just been weird recently.
Mm-hmm.
And then last year he decided to go like this. I'm elite again.
I'm sick, yeah.
So it's not that crazy. I think Vegas is the one big surprise because Aiden Hill came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But Aiden Hill this year has proved, as you said,
Sick.
he is good, dude. It's not a fluke
Yep.
that they went to the Cup with Aiden Hill. They went to the Cup with Aiden Hill because Aiden Hill is one of the best goalies in the league.
Yep.
I don't think with the performances we've seen from Wall and Sammer this season, they're going to wake up in the second half of the season and go, hey, guys, those first 35 games, they were a fluke.
Yeah.
So if you are a Maple Leafs fan or Maple Leafs front office member and you go, with this team as currently crafted, we're going to get into the playoffs and things are going to be different.
Yeah.
You are an idiot. And I think you have to look at the situation, again, like we always talk about with some of these guys. William Nylander, are you going to come back to this team and at what number? It's impossible to have those conversations during the season.
Yep.
I know that. So before you guys yell at me, I know that. And that's also, for some of the listeners, it is so hard to have these conversations mid-season. I don't think that they not can afford him, should afford him because of how many bodies that they need to fill and because of the number that he's going to demand. I don't think it makes sense for their roster. So you should move him at the deadline for a significant goalie and significant picks, and I'm looking straight at the Anaheim Ducks.
Oh, okay.
If Gibber still wants out, what does Gibber make?
Good one. Let me look that up.
Figure that
I
out,
was
because
looking up something else.
Nylander making 6.9. If you can trade him to the Anaheim Ducks for Gibson and a first-round pick, that is a very interesting trade.
Gibson 6'4".
Look at that.
For the this year, next year, and the next year.
Look at that. You trade William Nylander right now, and you solve your goaltending problems like that for the next 3 years.
So this was going to be my question to you. Oh, sorry. My question was going to be, if you're the Leafs, are you like, we can win the Cup without Nylander's production this year if we just get a good goalie, not like a stopgap goalie who I think maybe could get hot, like some of those guys I was listing before.
Yeah.
You know, like, like the Kings would never part with Talbot, but like, if we bring in Cam Talbot, like, could we?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, a guy,
Yeah.
a goalie. If you're the Leafs, you're like, yes, we have enough. We can win. Is that how you feel?
Dude, yes. Like
I think so, too.
And to me, like I said, it's not even this year. I'm not even thinking about it this year. But if I am tree living, I'm going for Gibber.
Yeah.
The math works out. Easy, 1 for 1. But you get more, I think.
No, that's a good
If Gibson is going to the Anaheim front office, if he is looking at Verbeek and is going, I don't want to be here anymore,
Right.
which I think would be crazy because they have such great youth.
Well,
But
that's what's tricky.
He demanded
yeah,
a trade this summer, so you just have a conversation with him,
Yep.
dude. And if Gibson goes, I want out, I am going, Nylander, we can't afford you. Look at the problems that this team has had in past years. You have $35 million next year, and I've got news for you, Chris. If that 35 accounts for Willie's 6.9.
Yep.
So let's call it, what did you just say, 6.4 for Gibber or 6.5?
6.4.
6.4. So take away that 6.4. That 35 turns into, roughly 28.5
Yep.
or whatever. You have $28 million, and you have just fixed your goalie situation for 3 years.
Yep.
You have $28 million now to fix that top line winger role, which you can do.
Yep.
You have all that money.
Well,
And-
you got to allot some of that for the big guys coming up next year and shit. But
Sure.
But I understand your point. Yep.
But again, dude, the next year, let's talk about Marner's. Tavares isn't coming back.
Yep.
So Tavares' money that goes off, he's gone. So
Yep.
you have that money. Because next, the year after, like you're saying, the
Marner's gonna get a shitload of money.
Marner, what is it, 10-6 or 11
Yep.
or something? That comes off the books. I don't think Marner's going to get that much more than that.
No, but he's gonna get that again. He's gonna
Yeah.
be like, give me 12.
So
yeah.
I'm saying like that just goes right back on.
Yep.
So, dude, I think it's like, what has your problem been for
Yep.
the last 10 fucking years? You don't have a goalie.
Yep.
And if you could trade Nylander and get your solid blue chip goalie for the next 3 years, and then also probably picks and prospects,
Dude.
how do you not consider that?
No, dude.
The
beyond
bigger thing is
consider.
Nylander. Would Nylander do it? But here's what I think with Nylander. If I'm William Nylander and they go like this, dude, you're not coming back, we're trading you. Nylander's not going to fucking sign with the Ducks. It's like when Taylor Hall got traded to the Yotes. Nylander will go to the Ducks, miss fucking playoffs, have a fun summer, and get a fucking bag in Chicago.
Yep. Dude.
Which is exactly where I think he's going. By the way.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I love this because I couldn't agree more that the Leafs have enough to win without him, even though I think Willie is an absolute stud
Yeah.
and deserves everything he's going to get.
Yeah.
And it would kill me if I was a big Leafs fan to be like, oh, we're going to fucking lose Nylander. But I'm like, this is the price of doing business, dude. Like, sometimes you have to give up huge, huge talent to fill a major hole, and it's never more prevalent than what it is this year. And I was looking at it. The one I was going to pitch you and just live in this hypothetical with me. If they fell out of contention.
Yeah.
Because they're not out of contention right now. They're very in contention.
Yeah.
But if they fell out of contention, I would do the same thing to the Predators. I'd call about Saros because he's making 6. I have it, but he's making 6 something. And I'm like, he only has 1 year left, but he's 29. Like, he's obviously still sick, but it's not like...
So I really like that. Can you tell me how old Gibber is? I think he's like 29 or 30 or something.
Yes, I will tell you.
He's 29 to 31. He's in that range, I believe. But the thing with Saros is, I think with the way the Preds are playing, they're in playoffs this year and next year.
Gibber's 30 this year.
Yeah, he's 30, right?
Yep.
So the Ducks, I don't really know that I'm putting that. Look at how brutal the Pacific is. I'm not sure I'm putting the Ducks in the playoffs next year. Whereas the Preds trading Saros, I'm like, you're in the playoffs already, dude. Why would you?
No, they'd have to fall out 100%.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if
But
right
even
now,
even if they did slip out, I'm kind of like, you're making it next year.
yeah,
I would feel confident that you are. With some offseason moves, like I'd feel confident. Whereas Anaheim, I'm like, I'm not really confident. By the time Anaheim and these young kids are ready to win a cup, Gibson's going to be 34.
Yeah. I like that take. And I like Gibber. Dude, Gibber's a great call. I like that much more.
Yeah.
The only thought on Saros thing, though, is like he's actually only 5 hit, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But my point is he's up. Like the Gibber control is a pro to your argument because you're like, you have your problem solved.
Yeah.
Whereas now, if Saros comes into Toronto, I'm like, you only have him for 1 more year, then you got to figure this out. But the perk of that, or the pro of that from my argument, is if the Preds are going to lose him anyway. Like if they're like, oh, can we even keep him? And if they can,
I think they can.
then fuck yeah. But if they can't, I'm like, dude, fucking bring in
I hear you.
Nylander right now and see, and we'll try to figure out the goal situation.
It would be a blockbuster trade,
but I think they need to do it.
I'm telling you, I think they need to do it. I think it is. It's like it's a no hard feeling situation. But yeah, I mean, you look at the way you've spent your money. I just don't think it makes sense to give another guy when you've had no success over the last 4 years with these guys. I don't think it makes sense to give another guy $12 million.
Just missing windows to
And you're
hope
D
someone gets
and
hot.
your goaltending. Your D and your goaltending. That has been the issue. You can solve it right now.
Yep.
Those are our saucy predictions.
35 goals for Matt.
That's our episode, our first episode of 2024. Love to see it.
Happy New Year.
Huge shout out to Third Wheel Podcast Studios for hooking us up with this episode. Huge shout out to Seattle for putting on an unbelievable Winter Classic and showing us an amazing time over these past few days.
Spunk was very high this weekend.
We will see you guys next week with some awesome new guests. We're going to keep things rolling in 2024. We've got a lot of unreal stuff bubbling for this season that you're going to see and hear about very, very soon. And we can't wait. And until then, as always, skate hard.